Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, and Gretchen Carey with Community Calendar. Thank you for joining us. The Burlington Police Department is asking the public's assistance in identifying a vehicle that was involved in a hit-and-run accident that sent an officer to the hospital. On Thursday, July 14th, a little after 10 a.m., an officer who was working a private construction detail was struck by a car in the area of 26 Beacon Street. The officer had signaled for the car to stop as it approached the construction site, but the car's driver attempted to drive around the officer and struck him as they did so. The car did not stop at the scene and continued northbound towards Woburn. The officer was treated for minor injuries at Leahy Hospital and then released. The vehicle is believed to be a light gray 2013 to 2015 Hyundai Elantra. Anyone with information can contact the Burlington Police Department at 781-272-1212. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford paid a visit to the construction site of the incoming water pipe connecting Burlington's water supply to the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority, currently underway in Lexington. He has this look at the progress being made on the project.
The project to connect the town of Burlington's water supply with the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority, or MWRA, is coming along, and those in charge expect the water to be flowing by the end of the year. I went to check out the construction of the pipe currently taking place on North Street in Lexington to get an on-the-ground look at the project. It's a large undertaking requiring a lot of intense work, though project leaders say it's going well.
We have a total of approximately 10,000 linear feet of 24-inch water main to install, including service connections for houses and streets and everything else of that nature as well. We'll saw cut the road, we'll come excavate the pavement, excavate out the existing dirt that's there, put the pipe in the bedding material, and then start backfilling the pipe and continue on and push on the sections as we go. In a good day, without any utilities in the way, if the corridor is clear for the contractor, they've been able to lay up to 300 feet in a day of digging, and we're running average cover of about 5 feet on top of the main, so bottom of the trench is down about 7 feet. So that's pretty significant quick digging.
When completed, the connection will provide Burlington with approximately 3.5 million gallons of water per day and allow the decommission of the Vinebrook treatment plant, the output from which has been impacted by the presence of the contaminant 1,4-dioxane. The new water source will be helpful for the town all year round, but especially at times when the supply is under stress from a lack of rain.
And particularly now when we are in the middle of another drought, and it's something that a lot of residents do not know, that our capacity to produce water depends on how much water we have in the reservoir. And that reservoir, we need water to be able to fill it. And when it doesn't rain, we can't fill it. So yeah, having plenty of water coming in through these pipes will certainly make it a lot easier to get through droughts and through summers in the future.
There's a second water-related project currently underway at the Mill Pond Treatment Facility, the installation of a large filter to remove the family of chemicals called PFAS that were detected in the reservoir last year. Mr. Sanchez said maintaining this facility was in the plan since the beginning of the project, so the town wasn't only relying on the MWRA for water.
Basically, it's for the redundancy factor. I mean, it's great that we have this pipe going in the ground, but it's a single pipe. So if anything were to happen to a single pipe, you want to be able to have another source of water to service the town. So to do that, we were going to maintain that plant active. Lo and behold, PFAS came into play last year, and right now we're building a second project at that facility to provide filtering for PFAS for the town. So that construction project, which is about $15 million, will allow us to keep that plant operational with no PFAS.
Finally, though additional work on both projects will continue into the spring, Mr. Sanchez said he is happy to report that both are on schedule to produce clean, safe drinking water by the end of the calendar year. He added the MWRA project has been a long time in the works, and he is happy to see it where it is today.
We are so excited that we're where we are right now, with finally this pipe going in the ground through the town of Lexington. So it's been a project in the making. Town meeting approved this project in 2018. There was a lengthy permitting process we went through. We completed an emergency phase, which is currently being used on Adams Street, and then finally now we're starting part of phase 2, which is tremendous to see this project going right now.
From the MWRA Pipe Project in Lexington, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
Could the Burlington Mall be part of Burlington's push for more biotech and life sciences? Excuse me. According to the Boston Globe, the Hudson Bay Company, owner of the now defunct chain of retail locations Lord & Taylor, is in the works to convert the closed store locations into lab space at the Burlington Mall, Natick Mall, and South Shore Plaza in Braintree. The facilities will each span about 120,000 square feet and provide ample space and parking that, according to John Boyle, Executive Vice President of Cushman & Wakefield, who advised Hudson Bay on the deal, would make them absolutely perfect for lab buildings. According to the Globe, Hudson Bay Company owns or co-owns about 40 million square feet of real estate across North America, including many of Lord & Taylor's former locations. Hudson Bay sold the brand in 2019, and the stores were all closed by 2021. Lord & Taylor's now operates as an e-commerce business. Timing of the conversion may be in question, however. The Globe story states that Hudson Bay's company plans to have the stores converted to lab space by the end of 2023, but Burlington Board of Health Chair Ed Weiner said that at least for the Burlington Mall location, a zoning change would need to be approved. This would require consultation with various boards in town and ultimately approval by town meeting. Dr. Weiner said he believes this could be a multi-year process and may not be given final approval. A restaurant group that was originally set to bring a high-end Italian restaurant to town has changed course and is now seeking a green light to open a steakhouse instead. As reported by BNews, PPX Hospitality Brands, the parent management company, which oversees the Strega Italiano, Legal Seafoods, and Smith & Wolinski restaurant concepts, was set to open a Strega Italiano at 92 Middlesex Turnpike in the former Del Frisco's grill location. Now, according to an application filed with the planning board, it has shifted instead to opening a Smith & Wolinski steakhouse. Since that time, and for various reasons, PPX has decided that a Smith & Wolinski restaurant at this location would be a better and more appropriate fit for the marketplace, the cover letter states. With locations in Boston and Wellesley, the applicant is excited about the opportunity to bring this most highly regarded American steakhouse concept to Burlington as well. Smith & Wolinski was founded in 1977 by Alan Stillman, best known for creating TGI Fridays and Ben Benson in New York. It has since expanded to have locations in Chicago, Miami Beach, Las Vegas, Columbus, Houston, London, Taipei, and as mentioned, Massachusetts. The application for a special permit is set to be before the planning board on Thursday, July 21. Last year, Susan and Paul Cadillac of Burlington-based Cadillac Homes premiered their new reality series, Renovation, Rekindle, on NECN. The Cadillacs recently celebrated their first year of production with their first Emmy nomination at the 45th Boston New England Emmy Awards. Susan and Paul recently spoke to BNews entertainment reporter Chris Flaherty for a look back on their first year of the show and to the future as season 2. He has this report.
Last year, Susan and Paul Cadillac of Cadillac Homes brought their talents from social media to a reality series, Renovation Rekindle, on NECN.
We've been putting videos out for about almost 5 years now. Yeah. And it just kind of grew from there. People started asking about clients, seeing clients in the videos, and then also from putting all the videos out, we were getting calls from production companies and different things, and that's how we came to meet our producer. It was kind of the next natural evolution of the videos that we were already doing.
Luckily, people watched them. That was all I was happy about.
Susan and Paul recently capped off their first year of production with their first New England Emmy nomination.
I mean, our producer called us and he's like, guys, you can officially say you are Emmy-nominated producers. And we're like, huh? We're builders and, we do real estate, and we understand the Emmys. That's totally like his wheelhouse. He's like, you don't understand, this is a big deal. And we're like, no, we know. Like, it's flattering, to be honest. Like, that was never the intent from when we started. Like, we'll do this so we get an Emmy. It's just very cool that it was even recognized.
Yeah, it was super cool just to be nominated. It was fun.
For the Cadillacs, the biggest reward is bringing clients' homeowning dreams to life.
I mean, I get to act like an idiot most of the time, and people keep watching it, so it lets me continue to do that.
I would say my favorite thing about the show is that I think having the clients not see it until the end, like, to me, that's fun because it's kind of more pressure on me, but I also think it's more fun because we have to make sure that it looks a certain way and that it's, and that it really kind of is everything that they were hoping for.
Like Susan said, it's cool how she can pull a few ideas out of their head and kind of paint that canvas for them, because I think people, they know what they like, but they don't necessarily know what they want, and it's hard for people to articulate it sometimes.
It's called therapy. I say we have house therapy sessions, and that's, I just ask a lot of therapeutic questions and figure it out.
As production winds down on Season 2, Susan and Paul hope they can continue to make every project special for clients and viewers.
I think as we go, it's, having the show and also putting our work out there, it's making sure that we're putting out things that are different, that we're changing, that we're kind of elevating what we're doing. So it keeps us on our toes. So
yeah, it does evolve you as a company, because like you said, you don't want to just copy paste everything. Yeah. Trying to always think a little differently and really make it special for that client, make it work for them. I've seen cases where someone saw tile on another job and they say to Susan, "Oh, can we use that tile in my bathroom?" She's like, "No." And they're like, what do you mean? She's like, "No." She's like, "That tile's special for them. Own. We'll find one for you. It's just as special, so yeah, it's really making it catered to what they need."
Season 2 of Renovation Rekindle premieres this fall. You can watch episodes of Season 1 now, Saturday and Sunday mornings on NECN and on the Renovation Rekindle app.
So don't worry, if you miss it Saturday, you can see it Sunday. And if you miss it Sunday, you can download the app and watch it Monday.
Good.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty with your BNews Entertainment Buzz.
Remote and hybrid government meetings made legal in response to the pandemic are set to soon be a thing of the past unless differences in a pair of bills passed by the Mass Senate and House can be worked out. According to a notice from the town, the remote hybrid meetings allowed under the state's Special Act of 2022, Chapter 22, Section 26, will end on July 15th. What this means is that after July 15, a quorum of the board or committee members need to be in person at a meeting in an acceptable location. However, the deadline set by the state rules may change. Last Tuesday, the state Senate passed a bill that would extend remote hybrid meetings to December 2023. The House then adopted a similar bill, but their version extends to the allowance only till March 2023. Even if the allowance for boards and committees to have remote hybrid meetings does expire, they can still choose to allow virtual public participation. The Massachusetts legislative leaders announced last Thursday a plan to provide relief for residents struggling to keep up with the high cost of gas and rising inflation being felt across the Commonwealth this summer in the form of tax rebates. They said middle and lower income taxpayers, individuals who reported between $38,000 and $100,000 of annual income in 2021, will receive a one-time payment of $250, while joint filers who reported between $38,000 and $150,000 in that same period will receive $500. The payments will come through the newly created Taxpayer Energy and Economic Relief Fund and are expected to be sent to qualifying residents by September 30. House Speaker Ron Mariano, Senate President Karen Spilka, House Ways and Means Chair Aaron Miklowitz, and Senate Ways and Means Chair Michael Rodriguez said in a statement that whether it is the rising price of gas, groceries, or summer clothes for kids, the Massachusetts legislature has heard loud and clear that increased costs due to inflation have cut into family budgets. Locally, State Rep Ken Gordon said he was proud to join his colleagues in supporting the bill and assisting families impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic's damage on the economy. In our segment, What Is It?, we ask local experts to explain an item from history, science, or other fields of interest. This time up is Burlington Historical Commission member Peter Coppola to take a look at a nitty-naughty, an old-fashioned way to accurately measure yarn. Let's check it out.
In order to understand what this is, we first need to talk about something that happens before this particular tool is needed. This is the working end of a spinning wheel. When I was younger, I always wondered how the yarn wrapped around that big wheel and then got twisted onto the spindle, and I could never figure it out. It was only when I got older that I understood that that spinning wheel was just the power arm of the operating system. So what happened is the large wheel is connected to this whirl, this driver, with a long piece of string. And when the spinster, and the spinster is somebody who actually does the spinning, in the early 1800s, we were still a sustainment farm, sustainment family, and everybody had to do the work at home. So everyone contributed, male, female, children, they all spun on the spinning wheel, and they were all spinsters. The spinster would reach back and give a little spin on the large wheel, and that spun this. And the difference in circumference between the large wheel and this small wheel worked out to about 200 revolutions. So one revolution of the big wheel turned this wheel 200 times. This larger wheel is called an accelerator, and it spun one revolution per one revolution of this whirl, and this, being a larger circumference, turned this whirl more often than that. So the proportionalities work out to one revolution of the great wheel turn the spindle 400 times. And that is what twisted the yarn and put it onto the spindle. So once the spindle was full of yarn, it needed to be taken off and put onto something else. Sometimes it was rolled up into a ball called a skein, but sometimes it was just a large circle twisted and tied into a knot called a hank. Now the hank was used when the spinster was then going to bring all of the yarn to a weaver. And the weaver wanted all of the hanks being the same length. So in order to do that, they used the niddy-noddy. And that's what this is. So what they were able to do was take the yarn from the spindle, wrap it in a weaving fashion, and then they counted, depending on how long the hank had to be, they counted X amount of threads. So in this case, it was 10 times 4, so there was 40 lengths of a little over a foot. So say this was 50 feet in length. So they would take this, take it off, tie it into a knot, set it aside, and do another one. And then when they had enough to go across the width of the weaver's loom, they brought it to the weaver, and he made the material for them. This could have been wool, which came from sheep. It could have been linen, which came from the flax plant. Those are the only two that we did here. Further south, they were able to weave cotton. When you visit the museum, you'll find the niddy-noddies next to the spinning wheels on the museum floor. The niddy-noddy.
To the chagrin of students everywhere and to the happiness of mothers, it's already time to start thinking about back to school. Saheli, a Burlington-based organization, offers support and friendship to South Asian families throughout the area and is holding a back-to-school supply drive. The supplies needed are backpacks, pencils, pens, binders, notebooks, folders, crayons, markers, rulers, erasers, glue, and any other items you can think of to help students learn. Saheli will be collecting the school supplies at their Parent and Child Zumba event on the Burlington Town Common on Thursday, July 28th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So drop off your school supply donation and enjoy some Latin-inspired dance cardio. Donations drop-offs will also be happening Tuesday, August 2nd and Thursday, August 11th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 101 Cambridge Street in the back parking lot. Saheli Boston is a nonprofit domestic violence prevention intervention organization providing personalized, culturally sensitive, trauma-informed support to South Asian and Middle Eastern survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. The 11U baseball team, Burlington baseball team, was named the Cal Ripken State Champions and are now heading to the regional tournament in Harrison, Maine. BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris caught up with the team to talk about their success and files this report.
The 11U Cal Ripken baseball team were named the state champions. The team had to compete in a round-robin style pool play games in the tournament.
The first 3 games we went down. We lost the first one 6-4. Oh, Milton, we lost 10-4. And we had another loss, a tough one, Marblehead 11-10. And the boys just couldn't get back on track. And finally, when their backs were against the wall, because you had to advance out of pool play, we said, guys, listen, here's the deal. You have to win this game or else it's over. And they kind of woke up, and we won 10-1 in our final game to be able to just get that last spot beyond the pool play.
Burlington then advanced to the semifinals against Milton, where they came away with a 7-6 win. From there, they took on Marblehead in the championship.
We faced Marblehead, a team that we had seen twice already in the districts and had beaten twice. So, you know, the 11-10 win in pool play didn't really bother our boys too much. And, you know, getting them again in the final, the boys just, they came out swinging. We were the away team. We got up first, and the boys just got to work very early.
As for the athletes, they are proud of what they have accomplished throughout the state tournament.
I think it's great. It was a really fun journey to go in that state tournament. I don't think we were heavy favorites against that matchup against Milton, and we defied all the odds and beat Milton in extra innings, so I think that was really fun.
We worked hard, and we've been with each other since we were 8 years old. Trained over the winter, played club with each other. We worked hard, and we earned it.
We've been working super hard throughout the whole year, and we just put the effort in to be state champions.
I think we won because we practiced a lot. As a team, we're really good, and I think that just helped a lot.
Hard work does pay off for the team, as assistant coach Dan Collins has been seeing these athletes improve since the start of the season.
These kids just put in, they put in the work to win this. They're out here practicing all the time. They do a great job. They do, everything that they're supposed to be doing. They've come together as a team unbelievably.
The journey doesn't stop there, as the team is off to Harrison, Maine for the regional tournament.
We're guaranteed 3 games in pool play. The top 3 teams from there advance. So we're just taking it one game at a time. In the competition, we're facing some of it's the toughest competition in New England. Andy Valley, Maine, Dover, New Hampshire, they haven't lost a game in state competition. These are the kind of teams we're going to be facing.
Marblehead is going to be there, Milton's there, both teams we have beaten. So we feel pretty good about that. We got our pitching lined up. We have our defense, full team ready to go. So we're excited.
From Simons Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
The Burlington 12U baseball team competed against Weymouth in the Cal Ripken State Championship game on July 8. BNews sports reporter Robert Paris had these highlights.
Simons Park was jam-packed as Burlington took on Weymouth in the Cal Ripken State Championship. Let's head to the diamond. Weymouth started off the game with the lead 1-0 in the top of the second. Burlington tied things up 1-1 in the bottom of the second. Weymouth had 5 runs in the top of the third, turning the score from a tie to a one-sided affair, 6-1. Burlington came back in the bottom of the 6th when they scored 4 runs, 6-5. The Weymouth defense held on to win the game 6-5. The tournament was double elimination, and Burlington had not lost a game yet at this point. So another sudden death game was held to decide the winner. In Game 2, Burlington and Weymouth were tied throughout the game, 1-1. The scores stayed the same, and the game went into extra innings. In the bottom of the 8th, Weymouth had a walk-off home run, winning the state championship.
2-1. Shot to center at the wall, and it's gone! Wow! Gallen! Wow! Mills walks it off, and Weymouth are state champions.
We spoke to head coach Brian Brothers after the games.
Two tough losses, both one-run games, 6-5 in the first game. They had a big hit. They had a grand slam in the third inning. They got ahead 6-1. My guys battled to the end. We got 4 runs in the final inning to get it to 6-5, but couldn't get any closer. And then that game there, 8 innings, extra innings in Little League baseball, kids making plays. I couldn't be prouder of the way they played, the way they battled to the end, and just the way the town showed up. We had probably 250, 300 people here, so I couldn't be prouder of the way my kids played and the way the town showed up.
Burlington is not finished yet. They will compete in 6 round-robin style games over the weekend at Simons Park for a chance to advance to the regional tournament. Other teams competing are from Lebanon, New Hampshire, Vermont Central, Vermont, and Weymouth. We go now to, oh no, we don't. The 19th annual Rehones Park Open is coming, and registration is still open for participants who want to join in on the tournament. BNEWS Sports reporter Robert Paris has the details.
Grab your tennis gear and head on down to the courts for the 19th annual Rehones Park Open.
The 19th annual Rehones Open, can't believe it's going on that many years. So it's going to be July 23rd and 24th this year. Pretty much an annual tournament we do every year. It's pretty much like a midsummer weekend of fun. We're going to have all kinds of draws, men's singles, women's singles, junior co-ed singles, mixed doubles for men and women. So you can sign up at burlingtonrecreation.org under the registration page. There's more details about each level. So this has been a really great tournament for us. In the past we've had between 40 to 60 players each year. Last year was one of our biggest turnouts, so we're hoping to at least meet that or exceed that. It's a great weekend for the community, not just the tennis community, but I think Burlington in general.
From Rehones Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown for a look at the forecast for the week ahead. We'll also check out the community calendar with Gretchen Carey to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Oakshire Weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading into the middle of July. We are in the height of summer right now. We are actually going to have some pretty nice summer-like weather coming in for the next 7 to 10 days here in the Burlington area. Nothing too cool. Looks like we're going to be staying average to maybe a little bit above average, so the heat will be on. So if you have any plans to go out to the beach or to the pool, this is definitely going to be a fairly nice forecast for you. Just going to have to keep an eye to the sky for some showers and thunderstorms each day as we set into a fairly warm and humid pattern. And starting at our period on Friday, we're going to see temperatures a little bit below average for this time of the year, only in the low 80s out there, but under sunny skies and dry conditions, so a beautiful day out there on Friday. Then as we round out our period getting in towards next Thursday, again, we're going to be seeing a little bit more in terms of some unsettled weather. Going to be at the tail end of maybe some warm and humid weather with a cold front moving in, so it might be drying out a little bit by the end of the period, and temperatures probably about average for this time of the year, which is in the mid to upper 80s. And as you notice, of course, our length of day keeps getting shorter as we head further into July. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us here in the Burlington area in terms of temperatures and precipitation for the next few days. And looking at our temperature map, they're expecting us here in the Burlington area and most of the northern tier of the U.S. to be at or slightly above average in terms of temperature. So again, if you have any vacation plans, looks like that warm summer weather is going to be with us. Unfortunately, looking at our precipitation chances, looks like we're going to be having maybe just average chances of precipitation. Now, I know if you are on vacation, you don't want to have all that rain, but we really need to start filling up those rivers, lakes, and reservoirs again, as it has been extremely dry here in the Burlington area. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure you're not out there with campfires at all in the area. You want to make sure that you keep those well controlled, as it is very, very dry in the underbrush right now. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, starting out our period on Friday, going to be a beautiful day out there. Going to be dry, temperatures in the low 80s, so a perfect day if you have to be out and about in the Burlington area. We then turn the heat up a little bit as we get in towards Saturday and Sunday, with our temperatures getting up into the upper 80s and the humidity really starting to increase. And we have that daily risk of showers and thunderstorms actually as we go all the way through till Wednesday, again with our temperatures staying in the mid 80s, some of those days in the upper 80s. Then once we get into Thursday, we're going to see a cold front come through the area and dry us out a little bit. But again, our temperature is going to be right where they should be at this time of the year, in the mid 80s. It's some beautiful, fair weather out there. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, I'm Amy Poehler, and you're watching BCAT. Go Red Devils!
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On July 21st, from 10 to 11 a.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having an event called Tumble Toddler. For more information and to register, go to the following website. On July 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a Flicks and Crafts event. No registration is required. For more information, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. On July 31st, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having Goat Yoga at Reagan Park. For more information and to register, go to burlingtonrecreation.org.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo was a beautiful sight that can only be seen by the early birds. It was sent in by young Burlington resident Gwen McNamee, who on a recent vacation got up before daylight to catch this shot of the sun rising over Old Orchard Beach in Maine. Thank you for the photo, Gwen. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your summer activities, family and pets, the weather outside your door, or anything else you'd like to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Rich Hosford, Chris Flaherty, Tad Stefanak, Robert Parris, Gretchen Carey, and Peter Brown. Thank you for joining us.